Whenever I see other people's phones, I'm always really surprised at how many apps they have and how they organize their apps. You know, they do little groups and they have widgets, and it's just too much for me. I can't deal with that many things. So I just find that having less things just allows me to focus on what's important. And the more crowded my phone gets, the more nervous and stressed I get, because I have to look through stuff, and then it's like, it reminds me that I'm not using that app and it's using up memory and blah blah blah. And so it just not having that and cutting that à la source is really like. I obviously use WhatsApp a lot, and that's pretty straightforward, so I'll go into that in another video, my strenuous relationship with WhatsApp. But I wanted to shed some light on a few other apps that I use. One of them is Splitwise. Splitwise is just fantastic if you live in a flat share, or if you're going on a trip with someone, or if you have shared expenses somehow. I started using SplitShare 2 years ago when I was in a WG here in Zurich, and the people I was living with used SplitShare to divide all of the costs for the flat. Money-wise, it's just straightforward math, and it just allows you to enter all of your expenses, and then the app will divide it depending on if the expense is to be split equally between the parties, or if someone has to pay a bit more of it, or if someone has to pay the totality of it. So I find that it's a really amazing app when you're traveling, because it allows you to keep track of all of your expenses, not have to keep a spreadsheet, or like, you know, one party might feel cheated that the other person isn't spending as much, blah blah blah. It's just basically facts. It just makes leading a project or leading a household or going on a trip much chiller, much easier, because you have this app that you just enter all your expenses in, you agree that you use this app, you agree that this app is going to calculate all your expenses for the group, and so it really allows you to relax and take a step back from that and worry about being happy. Every time I go on a trip with someone, I suggest we use it because it's just straightforward and simplifies a lot of things. The second app I want to talk about is YNAB, which is You Need a Budget. I just find the app really practical if you're on the go and that you're just entering whatever you're spending. I've done a fake budget here with fake categories and fake amounts. It allows you to budget your budget. One of the elements that I really like about it is it allows you to plan for big expenses, for sinking funds, for your wish list. It's just a really great way of like being really aware of how much money you're spending and how much money you're planning to spend. I just found that it's given me a lot of kind of peace of mind to know that I can access it whenever I'm in a shop, and then I have to think, oh, how much do I have in that category already? I can go check it. It's kind of just a way of having even more control over it because it's always on me and I can just check my budget whenever I'm out and about. The third app I want to talk about is SuisseMobil, SchweizMobil. Basically, it is a map of all of the outdoors activities that you can do in Switzerland. So all of the kind of official cycling routes, hiking routes, snowshoeing routes, like mountain skiing routes, canoe routes. This is the app I use whenever I go cycling because it's actually really detailed. If you ever get lost, you can kind of zoom into the app and find where you are. You know, oh, here's the church, okay, I'm here. And then you can also zoom out and have a really good overview of the route you're taking. The way the app is organized is that you click on the route that you're on or that you're interested in. So for example, this section here is part of the north-south route. You see that it's section 8 of the route, and then if you want to see the whole route, it zooms out and shows you the whole route. From here it's Chiasso to Basel. And then if you scroll down, it gives you a lot of information about the route. It's also great because it's got this location possibility, which I don't have on at the moment, but whenever I'm out cycling I put it on so that if I get lost I can just press on that and see where I am according to the route, which is really useful because sometimes you think you're on the route and then you realize you're not. The Via Alpina is probably on here, so let's search for Via Alpina. It's over here, and then let's see the whole route. So the Via Alpina is a trail that I am interested in. 390 kilometers of hiking. So as I said, you can do hiking. It shows you all of the hiking options as well, and then in winter you can also see the snowshoeing, the winter hiking, the cross-country skiing. Someone who lives in Switzerland or someone who's visiting Switzerland, and if you ever want to do outdoors activities and perhaps you want a little bit of help in organizing those activities, some information about the routes or the trails, it's a really fantastic app, really useful. And the last app I want to talk about is the SBB Mobile. SBB CFF, that is the Swiss train line. It is one of the apps that I missed when I didn't have a smartphone. So as soon as my smartphone died and I decided I would do a little retreat for 6 months and not have a smartphone, then I realized that the SBB app was actually something that I really missed. Simply because, you know, the timetable allows you to see the different options. It allows you to book tickets really easily if you link it to your card, and then you can just buy tickets online rather than having to go to the machine each time. If you're in a hurry or haven't really organized yourself very well and you need to find a solution quite quickly, it's just a really handy app to have. When you're in the train that you realize you haven't got a ticket to buy a ticket. All of your tickets are then kind of on your phone. You don't need to print out anything, and you can just show your ticket on the phone, which obviously has its setbacks, because what if you don't have any batteries, which is one of the advantages of not having a smartphone. Debatable, but it's just all around a great app. Some other apps that I'm not going in but that I have are WordPress, or a blog that I have. I've also downloaded a map app for a trip that I'm going to do, which is not in Switzerland, and I also have Too Good To Go, which I'm really interested in and I want to explore a little bit. So those are 3 more apps that I've downloaded, and I'm also considering downloading my bank app. And then are there any other apps that I would like? No, I think those are the apps. That's kind of it. I'm not really interested in anything. I used to have Zombies Run. Yeah, no, that's enough for now.